remember, if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. And that's why you're having these conversations, because we have all these stories of, corruption, tribalism, divide and rule, women discrimination, and of course youth unemployment. You guys are young people who are looking for opportunities. And the question is, why are there no opportunities? Maybe they're not meant to be any opportunities. Have you ever thought about that? That the more unemployed people there are, what do you learn in commerce? The more there are unemployed people, the more the labor, then the cheaper it is, because there are so many people fighting for the same jobs. Okay, go.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Wanjiro, and I feel like when you were asking, especially Chris, the question of how gender inequality manifests itself in low-income areas, I don't think he gave us a straight answer, because I've been doing work around looking at how the pandemic affected men and how the pandemic affected women, and especially in the low-income areas. When the president gave his speech about how we were going to handle the pandemic, the thing that he deliberately left out was the protocols of how women in emergency situations were going to be taken care of. And so you find that a lot of women lost their lives because they were not able to afford an ambulance, for example, when they are going to give birth, for example. You find that, and especially women in low-income areas, because number one, you can't even afford an ambulance on a normal day, with or without a pandemonium. You can't afford an ambulance. And then now there's a pandemic, and there's a curfew, and there's the police brutality. So women were not able to have access to healthcare. There were no strict and clear protocols on how women were going to do that. We're also talking about in emergency situations like where you need to have your child go to hospital in between the curfew hours. We're also talking about loss of income for women living, especially if you're a house cleaner or you're a house manager. A lot of women lost their jobs. And that also, I would like that to be included when we're having a conversation about gender equality and gender inequality, and when we're talking about representation in government, what I like to call as historical inclusion. Because if there are no many women who are making decisions at government levels, then it will trickle down to how we experience maybe the managing of a pandemic, how we experience HR policies, how we experience other things that have that don't necessarily have anything to do with the politics, but it all trickles down. And I would like for us to focus more on that, and to focus more on even the inequality of the social classes. We have rich women, we have poor women, we have young children, we have teenagers being raped, we have the problem of teenage pregnancy, and so many other things that we need to highlight.